Hey guys, it's Scott from fxmissions.com. Just a note, I've finished the trilogy of Anthologies from the Forefront, and all 3 books are currently available on Amazon.
Take your leadership to the next level. It's time for the Foundational Missions Leadership Moment with Scott McClelland of FX Missions.
Hey there, Scott McClelland with your FX Missions Leadership Moment. Thanks for jumping in with us. Hey, it's good to be here with you. Appreciate you tuning in. We're kind of going to start a little bit of a series here on relationships. Talked a little bit about it last time. Then we're going to insert into the middle of our series some stuff from on the field where we're actually currently in a young leaders event in central Nicaragua. It's an annual event we've been hosting for a number of years, and we're happy to be involved there, trying to encourage young leaders and help them get their sights set on a good goal and equip them with tools they'll need to not only start strong, but finish strong in their pursuit of the Lord and what He's calling them into in leadership. So please pray for us as you think about it. And in fact, you can do it right now. If you want to push pause and say, Lord, help, that'd be really appreciated. We're a team coming in from all around the States, and some from Mexico, and some from Nicaragua. So we'd ask you to pray for us as leaders and also for the participants, that everyone would be encouraged, built up, and left better off. Hey, in the middle of this series, we are actually just starting this series on relationships in leadership. Last time I talked a little bit about how a joint is a joining of 2 parts, and is kind of a metaphorical way to say relationship. So I wanted to encourage you to think about, and hopefully you have thought a little bit about, what does it mean to be joined to other parts? How is it that we know we're joined properly? Can we experience the promise of being built up and encouraged through these relationships? Or perhaps we have a relationship history that undermines our confidence in the potential of relationships. We've all had trouble. We've all had problems in relationships if we've been living for very long at all. And some of us, it seems maybe a little bit more of a natural when it comes to relationships. But I just want to get, we're going to have several sessions on this. So one of the things I want to ask you to consider and think about is, what's the purpose of relationships? Why are we given this? Are relationships important in life, or are they just a bother? How important are relationships to the Lord? I think these are good questions for us to consider. In my case, and from my perspective, I believe Jesus came to the earth. That's right. Jesus came to the earth for the purpose of restoring an opportunity for relationship with the Father. Let me say that again. Jesus was so important to God, so important to the Father, relationships that is, that He sent His Son to create a renewed opportunity for you and I to have a relationship with Him. Super important, very central to all of life. I believe relationships are going to be central not only to this life, but the life to come. So I think this is a worthwhile endeavor, us digging into relationships here. Even though you might have had some bad history on the subject, I think it's important that we recognize that relationships are very, very central to what God considers valuable. And He gave the ultimate part of Himself to create the opportunity for relationship to be restored. Maybe you've had some train wrecks, shipwrecks, or other kind of wrecks when it comes to relationships. But I want to encourage you today that relationship is central to God, and His grace is applied heavily to relationship. Perhaps you've got relationships, spiritual relationships with other believers that have been turned into a wasteland, or some super bad negative history there. I want to speak restoration to that today and encourage you that the Lord will restore your relationships, and that He will correctly join you to other parts of his body so that you can fulfill the potential for which he's called you to. Let me say that again. God will restore, no matter what's happened, your heart when it comes to relationships, and he'll restore the relationships necessary to you, even if there is bad history, to accomplish your purpose and to fulfill what he's called you for. Hopefully that encourages you. If you have any questions or input on relationships or need to get in touch with me or us, you can send that to info@fxmissions.com. Don't forget to pray for us as we're out and about in the foreign field. I'm Scott McClelland, and I want to thank you for joining us for the FX Missions Leadership Moment. Until next time, have a good one.
This leadership moment was produced in partnership with Engaging Missions. Have your leadership question answered by contacting Scott at fxmissions.com. Visit FX Missions to learn more about how you can grow your leadership and engage in missions. Visit engagingmissions.com for encouragement, insight, and resources from missionaries, ministry leaders, and church planters.